Getting all set up, everyone, and here we go. Hello, meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you on this hump day evening. Now, it's hot out there and humid in the Southern Valley. We have a little bit of a weak cool front working its way through the north, bringing some thunder, lightning, and a couple of thunderstorms that could be severe tonight. Not out of question, and all certainly possible. We'll go over the latest in our neck of the woods, look what's going on elsewhere across the country. Funnel clouds and severe weather working its way through the Ohio River Valley and out through parts of Illinois. The Gulf Coast seeing a smattering of thunderstorms. While it is quiet out west, your forecast begins right now. Hey everybody, Robert Gibbons Sons has a deal for you. If you have a place in your home or office that's just difficult to maintain that perfect temperature, a ductless mini split system just might do the trick for you. And you can enjoy up to $2,000 in a tax rebate. They're energy efficient, quiet, powerful, and you can enjoy that year-round comfort. Whatever it takes, Robert Gibbons Sons installs Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. Give them a call today. Please let them know Hutch sent you. And now a look at that radar. Let's get right to it. Tonight, we do have a risk of severe weather. And as we take a look at the nation, numerous severe weather reports moving through parts of Indiana out of the state of Illinois right now from Fort Wayne straight south. And as we look down in the Gulf Coast states, we do see quite a bit of thunder and lightning there. Some hail reported in the oil patch. Let's get started with a look at the risk for severe weather. And oh, by the way, active tornado warning right now in eastern parts of Ohio. Let's go ahead and take a look at that risk for severe weather as outlined by the Storm Prediction Center. The green you see in our area is called a marginal risk of severe weather. That's a level 1 of 5. That means it's not likely, but we can't rule it out. Storms might flirt with severe criteria. Hey, everybody, if you don't know who I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and it's a two-way street. I'm live. I'm watching for your questions, and if I see them, I'll sure do my best to answer them. Now, as we go into the state of Illinois and now Indiana, as well as parts of western Ohio, a chance that's orange is a level 3 out of 5 on the scale. That's an enhanced risk. Some strong thunderstorms with monster-sized hail over 2 inches in diameter, gusty straight-line winds that could exceed 70 miles per hour, and cannot rule out some tornadoes as well. And we did see a tornado warning on the east side of the state of Ohio. Now, we do have some severe weather potential in the southern side of New York, as well as New Jersey, as well as parts of northern and eastern Virginia as we head into the evening. The severe weather threat in yellow here is a slight risk. That's level 2, by the way, and that extends all the way out into parts of southern Oklahoma and North Texas. Let's get to what's going on on the radar in our neck of the woods right quick. And if you do have a question, watching from Wadena, hiya, good to see you, Amy. Nice to have you on board. And I do see that we got Kathy on board. Ooh, did it pour in Grafton? Indeed it did. We had a storm. Let's go down to the valley here and take a look at what that radar is showing. Whoops, I guess my little clicker is not clicking quite up to my speed. Let's start with a look at the individual radar. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning north of Williston, thunder and lightning in and around Grand Forks. So as we go down a little bit closer, we do see a report of some hail in northwestern Polk County, 1/4 of an inch in diameter, 6 miles south of Alvarado by a trained spotter. So 1/4 of an inch in diameter is not a severe hailstone, but if it does come with wind or on your plants and gardens, it's not fun. So keep that in mind. Thief River, you got some lightning flashing out in your area. And here's a look at that latest radar as we load it up. This smattering of thunderstorm south of Warren, northwest Polk County. Crookston, you have a storm developing right overhead right now. The risk of severe is not high, but the strongest part of this cell is just north of Grand Forks. It's going to clip the northern fringes of East Grand Forks. So if you're in this area and you get some hail, head on over to hutchesweather.com, hutchesweather.com, anytime, anywhere, and you can go click on this viewer photo tab right here and upload your photos of hail when it's safe to do so. I don't want you having any of these headaches and everything like that from getting whacked by hail. We ain't got time for that. All right, taking a look at my fine sponsors that make Hutch's Weather possible, like my friends at Slim's Tree Care. Click on Slim's Tree Care here to find out the latest, because storms can sometimes do numbers on our trees, and you want an expert in tree service to take care of you. Call Slim today. All right, the interactive radar is there, my latest and active video. Any of that is up here for you. And again, let's get back to that radar right now. Now, as you take a look at where we're seeing right now with regards to this latest, let's go ahead and detail the cell itself. These thunderstorm cells moving to the southeast, east-southeast at a clip of about 25 miles per hour. A little bit of hail detected in this cell as it crosses right over the Red River Valley now. And these other cells up here did cause that quarter inch diameter hail. Now, the storm that's working its way just north of Grand Forks does have a hail potential of under 1/2 of an inch, and it's only a 40% probability of hail, but that's a little bit older on the scan, and I do see an increase in the intensity on that one also. Not barely tracking this developing cell over Crookston. Remember, the radar beam goes up high. It may not even be raining cats and dogs quite yet. As storms develop, there's updrafts. Those updrafts kind of keep the raindrops up in the clouds as well. We had a thunderstorm go through Grafton. Thunder, wind, lightning about 0.4 in the gauge. All right, 0.4 of an inch is not bad, so locally heavy rain. We do see some boundaries of outflow from these storms when they collapse with their rain and hail. They cause some gusty, cooler wind as well as we take a look across our region. So that's what's going on north of Grafton. We do have some storms moving in on Drayton, Donaldson, and Stephen. These storms here do have the potential for some small hail once again, but nothing severe in our area at this particular time. Bismarck, Mandan, Steele, all out there, and Burley and Kidder County, heading south into the Napoleon area. Wishick, we're seeing a few cells, the strongest one just outside of Bismarck here, moving right along Highway 1804, that Lewis and Clark Trail out there as it heads in the general direction of you in Hazleton. Small hail from that, upwards of around 1/4 of an inch in diameter possible. Let's go ahead and take a look what the Weather Service says. Nickel-sized hail potential, I should correct myself, and 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, the strongest storms in the region or state right now, north of Williston, just crossing out of Plentywood, Montana. Let me get the closest radar. That would be this puppy right here. It's going to be a horse apiece between the the Deering radar near Minot and the radar out in Glasgow. This is the cell. It's right over Grenora right now. Look at the hail returns. See this? That's a rotating thunderstorm. So we do have what's called a mesocyclone or a supercell thunderstorm right over Grenora, and the hail core is right over the town of Grenora. But remember, the hail is being detected in the radar at a high altitude. If my shoulder here is the radar point where it's located, the beam goes up at an angle. The farther away we get from the radar, about 100 miles away or more, well, the higher it is in the sky. So it's a good couple miles up there, and it is detecting some hail. It is detecting some rotation. Let Hutch take a look at this for you folks out in the oil patch with regards to that rotation. So this rotating thunderstorm is showing motion toward the radar here in Deering and away from the radar here and then toward here. So there is rotation near and south of Grenora right now. Near and south of Grenora is the counterclockwise rotation. We do have clockwise rotation that's fairly tight on the north side of that cell. So that's a dangerous storm. And as we take a look at what the Weather Service says, 1-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that warning is in effect until 5:30. Let me click the time up here for you. Thank you. Weather for Twin Valley. Let's get to your forecast. Thanks, Jerica, for hanging on. Jason, thanks for watching. Go, Hutch, go. Wow, I appreciate that. Now, if you have a question, let me know, but I want to get to the forecast here to get those who have things going on tonight. Can you expect hail in your area? Can you expect thunderstorms in your area? Let's get to a latest look at that large scale radar map. We do have International Falls all the way out towards Lake of the Woods. Thunderstorms drifting through. Hit and miss thunder showers are most abundant in northwest parts of Minnesota. They're moving south and east. This activity here moving east-southeast through the southern James River Valley right now, and just isolated stuff in the Devil's Lake Basin, and a whole line of storms out here in western parts of North Dakota is heading through. Here is a look at the latest in the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to look at a couple of different factors here in this live edition of Hutch's Weather. Again, I appreciate you joining me on this update. Now, let's get back to one that will take me out in time through the overnight hours. We see this model here as we let it get started, showing the showers and thunderstorms popping up. But as we head into the evening hours, it's not doing a great job here, right? It's showing right now that there's no storms, and we got storms popping all over the place. So I don't like this model. And that means Hutch is going into his pocket and looking for a different model. That's what we call in meteorology. The model did not initialize well. The first few hours, well, they didn't get the right answer. And when the models don't get the right answer in the first few hours, it's not often that we have confidence that it's going to be right farther on down line. This looks a little more appreciable with its evening thunder shower activity. It's a little more widespread here in northwest Minnesota than this model is showing. The Devil's Lake Basin here picking up some showers. It has this moving through between the 9 and 10 o'clock hours through parts of the Northern Valley. And look at how things fizzle out here as we go through the overnight. So all of that stuff way out to the west does not look like it's going to have a great chance at impacting Fargo. We could see a better chance in northwest Minnesota, Grand Forks, and also maybe out towards the Bemidji area before these storms fizzle out. What we see out here in Montana, neither of those models did a good job of detailing those. So let's look at model number 3. Let's see. Okay. All right, here we go. This one does show some oil patch thunderstorms heading into the evening. That's correct. This is fairly correct, so it's not doing a bad job. Has them moving through between 8 and 10 o'clock and then fizzling out all across the board. Decreasing storm chances then into your late evening. I feel confident in that, and we do have a lot to talk about in the forecast as well. Whilst we are here, we're going to talk about this smoke forecast as well. To do that, I got to go back to this model, and we'll go ahead and load up this one, and we will go ahead and look at the smoke near the surface with this particular model. And let's see if I can load up one that's a little more recent. Here we go. All right, so let's go with this model. We're looking at smoke at the surface. And what we'll see here as we go through the early hours tomorrow through noon is Lake of the Woods area, northwest Minnesota has just a little bit of smoke making its way through, but our wind direction favorable, pushing a lot of that smoke back up into Canada and a little bit in South Dakota. This is just a little bit. It's nothing like we've had before. So that's a look at the smoke forecast. Good evening, Jerica. Thanks for watching, Andrew. Pleasure having all of you on board. Now let's take a look at the digits, and then we're going to look at the heat wave that's coming. First and foremost, here's what you have to look forward to. Hutch will start with the 7-day, brought to you by my friends at Eventide. Eventide is a wonderful place to work. It's a wonderful place to live. And if you want to find out more, you can head over to eventide.org or stop by, give them a call, tell them that Hutch sent you over. Have a look around. I'd have, and it's awesome. All right, now look at this. I've got a lot of red on the map now all of a sudden on that 7-day planner. Chance of severe storms as we go through your Thursday is not 0. It's not super high either, but we'll have a couple after a 100% chance of awesome summer-like weather throughout the day. Couple storms could be strong as we go through. Friday, a really good chance of severe weather in the area. We'll detail that. Temperatures near 90 degrees as we celebrate the equinox with all of our kazoos and party hats going on across the region. 9:41 p.m. is the beginning of summer, not meteorologically, but astronomically. So that's a look at that. Now, we do have dangerous heat in store for the region as we go through these last few days as well, particularly Friday, Saturday, and then again on Sunday before a cold front moves through and drops us like a 2-ton hammer on our toenail. We're going to see temperatures fall a good 20 degrees heading into the start of your next work week on June the 23rd. So that's what's going on. Now, why are these on here and what's high? HI, heat index. Heat index values in portions of our viewing area, not the entire thing, particularly in Minnesota where it's humid. We're going to have heat index values. What is a heat index? It's what it feels like when we factor in high humidity and high temperature. So it's going to be hard to stay cool out there. Check on your neighbors. Make sure you do what you can to stay cool. And remember, if you notice the signs of heat-related illness, it's important to cool off as fast as you can. I'll say that again. Cool off as fast as you can. A cold shower will do the trick. A visit to the movie theater or somewhere cool. Find air conditioning will help out with that. You should intro with some 80s rock, though. Say, Joe, I have ideas. I would love that as well. All right. Well, we're rocking here today with some heat on the way between now and the weekend ahead. You can feel that sticky air out there right now. So be prepared for high heat. Best chance of storms that would be severe. We're looking at our severe weather risk on Friday being the highest. So back to the radar I go. I know I'm bouncing around here, but it is one of those things where I want to show you. Today's severe weather risk we've covered. This is a marginal, maybe 1 or 2 storms become severe. Hail and wind will be the main threats, although we did have that rotating thunderstorm in the oil patch out there. Your day 2 risk as we go into tomorrow looks like this. This is for your Thursday. And again, it's at green. Level 1 on a 5-level scale. We're not anticipating widespread severe, but a couple of storms could poke into that level. This extends all over Minnesota, most of the Dakotas, parts of central Nebraska, all the way out into the entire state of Wisconsin. And how about southern Montana? Big sky filled with clouds that could rumble and stumble. So we take a look. The severe weather risk for your Thursday, by the way, East Coast and New England states out there from Charlotte in Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, all the way up into the areas near Portland, Maine. All right, now we'll look at that Friday forecast. Check this out. Look whose area is under the gun. All of Minnesota, all of northern parts of Wisconsin, all of the UP of Michigan, and most of North Dakota, and a sliver of northern South Dakota has a risk of severe weather. So the way it's looking to Hutch here, and I'll go ahead and detail this right now. Friday's storm risk looks to be significant. All modes of severe weather will be possible because we'll be in a zone of what's called a warm front location. There'll be some extra atmospheric spin in the lower levels. And if we do, in the heat, get the thunderstorms to start firing, then all modes of severe weather will be possible. And with dew points like we will have, that will likely be in the 60s, and dare I say even the 70s for parts of the area, it's going to be extremely sticky. There will be a lot of water in the air, and that means very, very heavy rain locally. Flooding will be a risk with those storms as we head into the Friday night, Saturday morning time frame. Let's go to one model here. I'll highlight this a chance, and then we'll wrap up with a look at your local forecast here. Hope no one drops a 2-ton hammer on their toes, says Justin. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. That'll ruin your whole day. All right, let's get to the look at the, let's start with the European model and go with that for now, and we'll take a look at this risk of severe weather. And let me zoom in on our neck of the woods, since that's what we're going to be focusing on heading into your weekend on Friday. So zooming in, pardon me, and thank you for your patience while I do this live in real time. The model I'm using again is the European model. So let's go through this. On Thursday, as we go through the afternoon, a couple of thunderstorms pop up. Can't be ruled out. Spotty in nature. 1 or 2 of these may become severe. Then again, on Friday, this is Friday evening at 7 o'clock, they form. When they first form is when they'll have the greatest risk of all modes of severe weather. Tornadoes not excluded. We'll keep you posted on this, but we will have a warm front located right through our region up here, and warm fronts again with the shift in wind and that low level energy. We're going to have that risk of a few spin ups with this storm as well, and possibly, dare I say at this stage, they could be a couple strong ones in there. Now this will work its way through. This is midnight, so the timing isn't perfect for storms in the Red River Valley to see severe weather. Most of that happens in the afternoon hours, but this storm system moving through overnight will have a ton of moisture to work with. And if everything sets up all right overnight, where we get a very strong south wind in the low levels of the atmosphere, we call that a low level jet. These storms will be persistent overnight and will remain with a wind threat as we go through the overnight hours, and a hail threat as well. They clear out, and by Saturday morning, they're all good to go. Big time car show going on in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Are you going back to the 50s there? So we do have that Friday chance of storms into the nighttime hours for Saturday. The cities, the Twin Cities, is in that risk. Hello from Tomahawk. Good to see you, Gary. Thanks for joining. Your area could see some of these strong thunderstorms, but likely in the wee hours of the night, Saturday night. So it does look like there'll be a late night Saturday or late night Friday, early morning Saturday thunder chance in and around the Twin Cities. Then we go through Saturday, it looks just downright sweltering hot. The risk of severe weather, not as good. But as we go into Sunday now in the morning, here comes a low pressure system along a cold front watch right here in the afternoon. South winds, warm front up here, thunderstorms up here could bring all modes of severe weather to Ontario. And I will be at the 50s, says Jerica. Hope to see you there, because guess who's going? All right, but that doesn't mean Hutch won't be here covering your weather either. I'll keep my eyes on the skies for you. But make sure you stay informed. It looks like most of the weekend for our area looks fairly quiet. We could have a couple of rounds of storms. If this cold front, I'm going to use my finger to draw the cold front right down here on the south side of this system as it works through on Sunday afternoon, as back to the 50s is wrapping up. This could bring a line of thunderstorms, this model not showing it. That's a look at your weather. Let's go ahead and highlight what you can expect on your Thursday. Here we go. Temperatures 55 to 65 degrees across the region. Remember, things quiet down overnight from the storms that will be there now. Then, as we head into the tomorrow afternoon time frame, your Thursday looking good. Candy, good to see you. Thank you for sharing stars with Hutch. It's always a heartfelt thank you that I give to you for the wonderful news of your support. And please pass along to pay attention to Hutch's weather. There is some big time news coming, and I cannot wait to share it with you. Hutch has been wrenching hard and working on the next step, and I can't wait to share with you what that is. Let's go ahead and take a look at these temperatures. Temperatures near 80. Once again, it'll be warmest down in the south, and this should not say 79. I've got 86 for tomorrow. I must have forgetted to type that. 75, though, still up in Grand Forks, looks good. So we're talking mid-80s here in Fargo for your Thursday afternoon. East-southeast winds at about 15 miles per hour. And again, spotty thunderstorms mainly in our northern counties here where you see the slightly cooler temperatures. There's one more look at your Eventide 7-day planner, and that is a look at your weather. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, appreciating each and every one of you for hitting the follow button on my Facebook channel that continues to grow. And I'm trying to get more of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hutch's Weather on YouTube. That channel is streaming in HD at 1080i. So let me know if you watch it on the big screen TV and how things are looking for you. For now, have a wonderful Wednesday evening. A couple of storms may become severe. We'll keep you posted. You're watching Hutch's Weather. Thank you.